everybody, and welcome to our top 10 quick comic picks. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our real quick show where we show you some of the biggest and best books that are releasing this week, coming out Wednesday. So go ahead on over to infinityflux.net and you can go ahead and order these books. They are already here, they're already waiting while supplies last. That way, you don't have to worry about missing out on any of these awesome books. There's some pretty big one this
Oh, yeah.
week, so let's kick it off.
We're going to start with Red Hulk #1, and this is part of the One World Under Doom storyline because we see that General Ross has been held captive by Doctor Doom in an underground cell for we don't know how long, but he has General Ross, Machine Man, and Deathlock and a couple other characters, using them as a master strategist to play war games for we don't know why either.
Yeah.
But we do get a little bit of Red Hulk action in this. I think we're going to get a lot more next issue. So it's just great to have Red Hulk back.
Well, first up for me is Absolute Wonder Woman #5. This is the final issue of our first story arc that kind of wraps up the Tetracide story, this giant hulking beast that's attacking Gateway City. And will Wonder Woman finally find a way to take it down? It's kind of on its back foot after last issue, but it's still not stopping. And what kind of sacrifices, once again, will Wonder Woman have to make to officially end this creature once and for all? You have to read to find out, but a crazy stuff happens in this one that I don't think anyone would see coming. That definitely set up a lot of interesting bits going forward about the extent of Wonder Woman's powers.
And next we have Ultimate Spider-Man #14. And this wraps up the story of Peter and Harry in the Savage Land running from Kraven. But the larger story is definitely not finished yet. And that is most of the book is them in the Savage Land trying to figure out how to escape while dodging Kraven. I will say there is something major that happens in this. So please try to avoid spoilers because you definitely don't want to have that ruined for you.
Next up, I've got Star Wars Rise of Skywalker Adaptation. So it's been about 5 years since the Rise of Skywalker came out. We never got a comic adaptation. We've got all the previous ones, but I'm really glad they waited till now because this is more of an adaptation of the novelization of the movie than actually the movie. That being said, like it has extra scenes in this. It has internal dialogue from the characters explaining kind of thought processes behind things and some actual added scenes of stuff that happened in the past. Just makes the story more rounded and explains a lot of maybe some stuff that people didn't quite get in the movie. Highly recommend this one. Plus, it is gorgeous. It's not a shot for shot of the movie. It's got some panelizations that are different, some different shots, and interesting bits that make this, I think, leaps and bounds past the like Ahsoka adaptation or the Obi-Wan. This is kind of its own thing, and I highly recommend it.
And next up, we've got The Seasons #2. And in this issue, we meet the other two Seasons sisters. We meet Winter and Summer as Spring tries to urge Winter, we need to get out of town quick because I read a letter from our sister Autumn who said there's a bad circus coming to town, but Winter isn't having it. We also meet Summer, who is a big-time actor and also a big-time diva. And it seems like she is going to be at the premiere of this mysterious circus when it comes to town, which could spell bad things for her.
Next up, we've got our next one of these one-shot stories by J. Michael Straczynski. This time, the art is by Bernard Chang and is Captain America Volstagg. Another weird combo. So why has Volstagg called Captain America to help him with a kind of war that's going on another planet? Why didn't he call the Warriors 3 or Thor or any of those? You'll have to read it to find out. But it's a pretty interesting story with a pretty heartfelt and tragic, I wouldn't say tragic ending, but pretty emotional ending to this that I didn't see coming. So another fun entry in these weird team up one shots.
And next I have Green Lantern #20. I just wanted to put this in here because it's so much fun. There's two different stories there's one of Hal Jordan dealing with a being on another planet who has exhibited great rage and he is trying to quell that. While you also have Kyle Rayner, Connor Kent, and Odyssey, they go out to the Source Wall to try to get an orb of pure source power. And the way that that sequence plays out is super duper fun. The artwork is great. Just a really entertaining issue of Green Lantern.
Next up, I have Pop Kill #1. This is so much fun by Jimmy Palmiotti and Dave Johnson. This is the book that is about two warring soda companies that are helmed by Siamese twins that have been separated and now utterly hate each other, and the lengths they go to sabotage the other. We mostly follow one of their main agents in the field that's in charge of sabotaging and getting information and all of that. Who's a very James Bond like
Mm.
character. This is very much James Bond meets the brand wars idea in a very mature title, but just has such a great sense of humor kind of coating on the top.
And last for me, I have X-Men number 12, and I wanted to include this because this feels like an X-Men comic from the 90s. You have the X-Men teaming up with Alpha Flight to fend off a horde of aliens that have come to Earth to capture Scott Summers because of who his wife is. And this is just full of nonstop action. The X-Men and the Alpha Flight do not fight each other. They team up together to fight the bad guys, which is exactly what I want. Great artwork. Like everything about this was just super fun and it felt really classic.
And lastly, for me, I have Superman #23, and this is a big one because this wraps up somewhat our Doomsday story. But of course, it's Doomsday. You are not done with him completely, and the ramifications of decisions made in this are going to affect everyone involved from Lois, Clark, Lex, Jimmy Olsen, Silver Banshee.
Mhm.
All of them are not going to come out of this without some kind of scratches on them. And it sets up some pretty big stuff for this summer and beyond. So, a fantastic wrap up to this Doomsday story that it's just beautiful, amazing art. So, so good. And that is it for our top 10 quick comic picks. So thank you so much for watching. Head on over to infinityflux.net right now where you can order these books while supplies last. And that's such an important thing because supplies are limited. People are constantly ordering these from us, which we are so happy about, but we want to make sure you are able to get what you are looking for. So do not tarry. Head over there now and get those. And thank you so much for watching. And until next time, see
See
ya.
ya.